Have you thought about buying a house or a condo, but certain fears keep holding you back? Do you think that you won't qualify or there are certain roadblocks in your situation? Hi, I'm Michael Shuster, For Sale Real Estate. Buying a house or a condo isn't like buying a pair of shoes. The price is much higher and you can't return it if you change your mind. It's common for many people to worry about the smallest details, whether you've bought a home before or this is your first time. Although buying a home usually requires a lot of careful planning and research, remember, you won't be going through it alone. In fact, I recently did a video post called "The Biggest Mistake That Buyers Make When Looking for a Home." And in that post, I not only shared the biggest mistake they make, but I also talk about just how important choosing the right buyer's agent is, and make sure those details and extensive research and the decisions that I was just referring to are all supported by someone you trust. If you've chosen the right buyer's agent, then your agent will help you every step of the way. But still, I understand that peace of mind is still important and fears can still arise for most people when you least expect them. So to help eliminate some of those possible fears, here are the top 5 that home buyers have, along with suggestions to overcome them. Number 1, what if my credit score isn't good enough? Many people think you need a perfect credit score or a sky-high credit score to qualify for a mortgage. So their imagination and fear of not getting approved convince them to not even bother trying. Now, as you know, nothing's impossible if you break your goal down into steps. First, you should get a copy of your credit report and make sure there are no errors. If you don't know how to do that, I can help you. More often than you can imagine, credit reports have errors that bring down your score and they can be corrected. Then, if your credit score is still less than you think it needs to be, don't be embarrassed or feel helpless. A really good mortgage broker might still be able to get you approved for a mortgage with one of the big banks. Now please be sure to check out my video post called "Mortgage Brokers versus Banks and What's the Difference." It highlights some more very important information on this exact topic. Finally, if you've spoken with a really good mortgage broker and still need to get your credit score up a little higher, there are steps you can take. Gradually pay off your delinquent accounts, improve your debt to income ratio, and try not to take on any new debt. And be proactive about your credit and start improving it. There's lots of other ways as well, so we can talk about that. Even if you don't pay off all of your balances, if you do some of the things I've suggested, and we have more suggestions, I've seen people raise their credit score by 100 points or even more in as little as 4 to 12 months. Number 2, the second biggest fear, is getting a bigger mortgage than you can afford or that you can handle. Now I'm going to break this topic into 2 parts. Firstly, let's focus on budget. A large monthly payment can seem overwhelming at first. You can eliminate fears, which don't help you in any way, by being clear about what your financial situation is. You should prepare a budget that includes all of your current and ongoing bills and expenses. List down all your monthly payables, your credit card, your loans, your car leases, things like that. Once you know your monthly income and your expenses, you'll know how much you can afford to comfortably spend on a house or carry a mortgage. Now secondly, as I said before, you can't decide if you can afford to carry a mortgage until you know how much that mortgage is going to cost you. A good mortgage broker might get you better rates and find ways to lower your monthly payments and offer solutions that make something which seems out of reach fully doable. And by the way, talking to a mortgage broker for this kind of information is free, so why wouldn't you at least try it? And if you want the name and the number of the best mortgage brokers, just email me and I'm happy to introduce you. Number 3, the third biggest fear is, what if the value of my property goes down? While it might not be true for some parts of Ontario or Canada or other countries, here in Toronto, in the Greater Toronto Area, almost all of the suburbs, prices haven't gone down for a very long time. And all indications are that they'll keep going up and up. And yes, that might sound like a sales line, but I'm not selling anything here, and I say that based on understanding exactly what drives the increasing prices and why it's going to keep going up. So I base what I just said on supporting facts. But even if, by some unknown fluke, there was a hiccup in the market or a blip, and the value of your property went down for a few months or even a year, that is only risky if you're buying a house to live in short term or to fix and flip. As long as you intend to stay in your home for at least a few years, it's almost impossible here in the GTA that the value of your home in 4 or 5 years will be less than it is today. And finally, on this point, even if it does happen, it does not change your monthly payment or your affordability. As long as you've discussed fixed rates versus variable rates with your mortgage broker, your payments are protected. It only matters if you were going to sell your home and your home is worth less at the time of sale than what you owe the bank. So the solution is to stay a little longer. Number 4, maintaining upkeep of the home. The solution is to this topic is somewhat tied to number 2, which I explained earlier. When doing your budget, factor in the upkeep costs and your expenses. If you don't know what they are because you haven't bought yet, that's where it's extremely helpful to hire a really good buyer's agent. I know when I sit down with my potential buyers, I often help them forecast the upkeep costs of the type and the size of the home that they're interested in or looking at. A really good and honest buyer's agent will also help you avoid buying a money pit or a home with potential future problems. They'll help you choose a well-maintained home that has recent upgrades and replacements such as plumbing and roofing, furnaces and air conditioning, all the expensive things. When buying a house, you should also hire a home inspector to spot home defects that would otherwise go unnoticed. And for more information on how an inspector can help you avoid costly upkeep problems in the near or distant future, check out my video post called The Real Purpose of a Home Inspection and What Home Inspectors Do, and 6 Ways to Avoid Buying a Money Pit. And number 5 on our list today is buyer's remorse. Most buyer's remorse only happens as a result of impulse buying. You saw something in the mall, you liked it, you bought it because you can, without planning for it. Buyer's remorse is uncommon in real estate, especially if you're working with a good buyer's agent, because your agent will likely have taken the time to help you break down exactly what you want, what you need, what you're looking for. They help you choose exactly where you want to live, what type of property, and make sure you get exactly what you want. And it doesn't happen instantly, it happens over time. And if you already know what you want and need and you can afford, then a good buyer's agent who listens should only be showing you properties that meet your criteria. So once you see a property and you love it, if you're willing to make an offer and buy it, then it likely is everything that you want and need. So very unlikely to have buyer's remorse. Being firm with your standards and sticking to your budget and other criteria will help you justify the decision that you've made and put you at ease about your purchase. Now, if you want to know more about the process of buying a house or condo and how to do it safely and smoothly, I'm always happy to chat. And remember, when it comes to real estate or any other experience or process in life, if there was a better way, wouldn't you at least want to know about it? Just email me with any questions you might have. Mike at TheREguy.ca. It's always strictly confidential. Never any pressure or obligation. I just love to talk real estate and I love to help. Thanks for watching.